So hello everyone, welcome again to the live session of Law classes. I'm Dinesh Kumar and I'm former assistant professor of law at Campus Law Center Law Faculty, Delhi University, and presently I'm working as an academic head of Law classes. So dear students, I will take your today's The Hindu news analysis and I will discuss the most important news in today's newspaper, which are very important for your examination point of view. So now we come to the news. Now we come to this news. Rollback GST on small inns near Golden Temple. So this news is important from that point of view that you may be aware that government has imposed GST on certain items like the curd and paneer etc. And now this Mr. Raghav Chadha, who is the MP from Aam Aadmi Party, he has given a memorandum to the finance minister that this the GST imposed on sarais or some inns should be rolled back by the government. So now this news is important from the GST point of view. So you should have the knowledge about that which article of the Constitution of India deals with GST. So that is article 279A. GST काउंसिल में कौन कौन होता है, who forms the part of GST council, और GST कब से लागू हुआ था. So now the GST has completed its 5 years. So GST was imposed from 1st July 2017. So this news is important. Now he has compared, Mr. Chadha has compared that the tax on inns like a jizya tax. So basically you should also be aware about what is jizya tax. So basically jizya tax is a tax which was imposed by the Aurangzeb on pilgrimage. So basically ये कहते हैं कि जो जजिया टैक्स मतलब जो टैक्स लगाया है सरकार ने इंस पर, ठीक है, तो सराय पर जो गोल्डन टेम्पल पर हैं, तो देयर पर्पज इज नॉट टू अर्न द प्रॉफिट. सो जनरल रूल इज दैट द टैक्स शुड बी इम्पोज्ड अपॉन इनकम. सो इफ ए पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी और पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज वर्किंग for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the people, then such entity should not come under the tax review, or the such tax should not be imposed upon such entities. So this is the important aspect. GST is important. You should have some detailed information about GST because this year GST has completed 5 years. So I told you the important article, that is 279A. This is important. कब आया ये, इससे आया, और ये कौन से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट से आया. यू हैव टू बी आल्सो अवेयर अबाउट दिस. यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू हैव ए वन पैसेज ऑन GST. All these are the political news. All these are the political news. Now we come to this editorial. So this editorial is again important. Some of the legal aspect of this editorial from your examination point of view I will discuss. So waiting for democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. So basically all of you are aware that article 370 of Constitution of India used to give the special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So but the special status of Jammu and Kashmir was temporary and it was not permanent. So Article 370 was abrogated by the government of India in 2019, and now earlier the Jammu and Kashmir was a state or full-fledged state, but now it has become a union territory by the amendment. So now Jammu and Kashmir has become a union territory. So you may be aware of the fact that, but this is the union territory which has special status. For example, Delhi is also a union territory but it has the special status. So special status क्या है दिल्ली में? Because elections are held in Delhi, and as a general rule in every union territory there is lieutenant governor. So basically all union territory directly come under the power of the president, and president can adjudicate the administration or exercise his power over a particular union territory either directly or through the officer subordinate to him. So what happened, since Jammu and Kashmir has become a union territory with special status, so वहाँ पर क्या है, वहाँ पर इलेक्शन भी होते हैं, लेकिन what is the problem or what is the concern of the author Radha Kumar in this particular editorial is that waiting for the democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. So basically Jammu and Kashmir there is a president rule, and due to the president rule there are no election in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. She said that in her editorial that various leaders have been put in the jail and they have not been granted even the bails. So now the concern of the government was that the president rule was imposed to curb the terrorist activities, but according to the survey the terrorist activities have increased in comparison to the 2014 to 19. 2014 to 19 only 87 people were killed, but in recent 2020 and 21 177 people have been killed. So the contention of the government was that they imposed the president rule in the state of Jammu and Kashmir to curb the terrorist activity, but according to the claim of the author this situation is not so, and even in the president rule there are more crimes against the people of the Jammu and Kashmir, and there is no shortage of the death, or there is no fall in the death. Next, the contention of the part or the apprehension on the part of the government was that if the president rule will be imposed in the state, then the Kashmiri Pandit will be able to rehabilitate at their native place, but it is also not this objective also could not be achieved. Now the question arises, the president rule. So this president rule is very important from your examination point of view. So now I will tell you some brief information about the president rule. So president rule is imposed under Article 356 of Constitution of India. As all of you are aware that there are three kinds of emergencies in the Constitution of India, or means we can say that the part 18 of the Constitution of India. So what are these emergencies? One is national emergency under Article 352. Second is the state emergency under Article 356, and third is the financial emergency under Article 360. So I will give you some brief information or relevant information only about Article 356. So what is Article 356? So basically Article 356 provides that if the report of the governor of a particular state or the lieutenant governor of a particular state provides that the administration of the state or UT is not being carried out in accordance to the provisions of the Constitution, or if this information comes to the knowledge of president by any other way or by any other means, then president can declare a state emergency in that particular state or union territory. So what will be the consequences of this? So since Jammu and Kashmir is a special state or a special union territory or union territory with special status, so there is a legislative assembly which also enact the law. While a proclamation of state emergency is proclaimed in a particular state or union territory, then the system of the state becomes unitary, means most of the power of the particular state or union territory are governed by the or are exercised through the discretion of the parliament, and system become unitary in comparison to the federal structure. So basically you may be aware that we are having federal system in our country, and federal system is a system in which there is a distribution of power between the center and the state. But when emergency is imposed in a particular state or union territory, then the system becomes unitary. So now what are the consequences? State will exercise all its power subject to the approval of the president or subject to the approval of the Council of Ministers. So now the apprehension of this author in this editorial is that there should be election in the state of Jammu and Kashmir and democracy should be restored. So you have to read about article 356. Now we come to this news as well. The Kansas win on abortion and its bearing on other US states. Now you may be aware, one news was discussed with all of you in the past, and that was that earlier the women of USA used to have a right to abortion. पहले उनके पास क्या था? पहले उनके पास right to abortion था, ठीक है? But now their right to abortion has been taken away by the Honorable Supreme Court. So Honorable Supreme Court of USA has given a decision in the case of Roe versus Wade, and by this decision right to this abortion has been taken from the female. So now a female cannot claim abortion as a matter of right. Rather it will depend upon the discretion of the state whether this provide as a right or not. But क्या हुआ है, अभी रिसेंटली कैंसस में जो रेफरेंडम हुआ है और पब्लिक ओपिनियन ली गई है इलेक्शन के द्वारा, तो उसमें लोगों ने उसको रिजेक्ट किया है एंड द पीपल आर डिमांडिंग दैट द डिसीजन ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट should be overturned and their right to abortion should be restored. So this is the concern of the people of the USA कि right to abortion जो वहाँ की फीमेल के पास था वो उसको कंटिन्यू किया जाना चाहिए. तो अभी कैंसास में ऐसा हुआ है, तो यहाँ पर एक एप्रीहेंशन ये है कि this kind of information or this kind of opinion of the people of USA will be also found in the other states of the USA. So it is necessary for all of you, you should have some detailed knowledge about the decision of Roe versus Wade. So all these news are not. Now we come to this news. CGI proposes Justice UU Lalit as successor. So basically all of you may be aware that at present Mr. N.V. Ramana is the 48th Chief Justice of India, but he is going to retire on 26 August 2022. So इनके place को लेंगे, कौन लेंगे? Justice UU Lalit. So why the Justice UU Lalit will take? Because Justice UU Lalit is the senior most judge of the Supreme Court. और जस्टिस यूयू ललित का जो टेन्योर है वो भी काफ़ी कम होगा, दैट विल बी ओनली 3 years. नाउ वी कम टू द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इन्फॉर्मेशन. सो यहाँ पर आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन ये है कि दैट फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन में बी आस्क्ड दैट हु इज द नेक्स्ट सीजीआई ऑफ इंडिया, दैट इज द जस्टिस यूयू ललित, एंड एग्जामिनर frequently ask the number of the CGI. So Justice UU Lalit will be the 49th CGI of CGI, Chief Justice of India. So this information is very important. All of you have to remember this 49th CGI. ये एग्जामिनर कई बार पूछता है. आप लोग समझते हो केवल नाम से सफिशिएंट हो जाएगा, बट merely remembering the name of the judge is not sufficient. Rather you should also know the number. Now the one important point is that कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस का जो अपॉइंटमेंट है वो किस प्रोसीजर से होता है. सो दैट इज द मेमोरेंडम ऑफ प्रोसीजर ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजेस. सो दिस इज द लॉ, मेमोरेंडम ऑफ प्रोसीजर ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजेस. दिस इज द लॉ विच प्रोवाइड्स द अपॉइंटमेंट प्रोसीजर. बेसिकली आर्टिकल 124 ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया deals with the Supreme Court appointment Supreme Court judges, but it only provides that the Supreme Court judges will be appointed by the President, and it does not give the detailed information about the appointment of Supreme Court judges. So detailed information is given in the memorandum of procedure of appointment of Supreme Court judges. So this is the law. So you may be asked a question that which particular law deals with the appointment of the judges of Supreme Court. Now all these news are not so important. All these are not important from your examination point of view. So that's all for today, my dear students. I will come again with the next the Hindu news analysis. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye, and please take care of yourself.